So this is my Metamorphosis build. The Metamorphosis is the ultimate skill here. What we're going to do is we have the leveling path. It takes us 27 skill points to get down to this Metamorphosis. Now, the reason that I've went for Metamorphosis here is because of this one in particular, damage scaling Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis gains 2% increased multiplicative damage for each X bonus maximum life you have. So my guessing, and this has to be borne out by play, but this would suggest that you have increased damage for every life you have. And in the current game, season 12, if I can, no, I need to open up, because I haven't even got the game opened up. But we've got something like 10,000 life, which means like 20,000 multiplicative damage, if I read everything right. I'm just opening up here. Now, I'm not the only one that's sort of picked up on this, but I think a lot of people are really excited about the Abyssal Claws in particular. But this ultimate skill seems to be a little bit insane. Now, and again, it depends on whether we can utilize this a little bit better and get some other, right? So toughness, maximum life right now with my paladin, I have 10,440 max life. That's a lot. So if we have something similar in this Metamorphosis here, where the damage scaling of Metamorphosis increased for each max life you've got, and if you've got 10,000 max life, that might mean 20,000 increased damage. And it is a cooldown skill, so we'll have to be a little mindful of the cooldown. And the cooldown is 5 seconds. Which means it's going to be up like 100% of the time because of the cooldown reductions that we're going to get during the game. I'm not sure if that actually is 100% true, but we will be seeing this through the game. Now, for the leveling build, there are certain sort of breakpoints that you need to reach before you can go to the next skill level. But by the time I'm down here, that's 27 points. 27 points is to get an ultimate skill up and running is nothing. Now, I haven't put anything in here because, to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure I like them. Especially the stagger. When you reach 100 stagger, you're stunned for 5 seconds. And if you're stunned for 5 seconds, means you can do absolutely nothing for 5 seconds. That's an early death. And this one, Metamorphosis, grants 40% multiplicative when you reduce below half your max life, but cannot heal above this threshold. So you're only getting half life. So that means instead of 10,000, you get 50,000. instead of 10,000 life, we've only got 5,000 life. But then you get an extra 40% multiplicative on that. Or I get 10,000, 12. I'm not sure the maths work out properly. So anyway, if we start now, one of the things that I will say is that in the beginning you're going to need to have a good source of the two resources that you need, which is okay, it's wrath and dominance. So I went with this little skill set here. So this is the tree, these are the branches, and these are the twigs. That's how I'm going to think about this. So I went with Command Fallen. Command Fallen, you summon a lunatic that charges and explodes, dealing 80% damage. And then an additional wrath for every demon you've killed in the last 2 seconds, up to 5 wrath. And then I have every 15 times you hit an enemy with Command Fallen, you gain 1 dominance. And dominance is one that you need to get your cores, not your cores, your actual archdemons up and running. I think that the mobilitics has still got a little bit of work to do on their skill trees and stuff, but they'll do for now. And then as a modifier, I've went Meat Shield's Command Fallen. Every second, Command Fallen passively summons a lunatic that follows you around, that detonates when enemies get close. Command Fallen is now a Hellfire skill. I am tempted about the command does 3 Fallen Grunts, which generate 10 Wrath per hit, but I've went with the Hellfire skill in the beginning. But that could change. That could change. I could go with the Fallen Army command, but for now we'll keep it this way. Then for the core skills, I went for Hell Fracture. Then Hell Fracture, the twig, I've done Volatility Hell Fracture. Standing within a Hell Fracture, explosion grants you volatility for 3 seconds. Then the bottom twig, I went additional Hell Fracture. Hell Fracture explodes an additional time. And then for the modifier, I went Lava Fissures. Hell Fracture creates lava fissures between each fracture with burst for 80% damage. This eruption also sounds pretty good, but it depends on how it actually explodes in front of you. And if there's anything in between, or it's too wide or too close. So this is also a possibility. Then coming down, I've went into Nether Step. I think many people will be going into Nether Step just for the pure mobility that it will give us. So we start with the Nether Step, and we've taken the damage reduction. Nether Steps gains 100% damage reduction that decays alongside its movement speed. So my guess it's like 100%, 50%, 0. You know, 2 seconds, 1 second, and then it's done. But then we've also got Nether Steps movement speed bonus lasts 50% longer. So that'll be, instead of 2 second, that'll be 3 second. So you might go like, I don't know, it might go 3, 2, 1, or it might go 3, 1.5, 0. We'll have to wait and see when we get up and running. And then I've taken Gloomwalker. Now lets you run through Abyss while you're immune for 3 seconds. So the cooldown right now is 12 seconds, but there are ways that you can get that cooldown more. If you get that cooldown sort of to 3 seconds, then you can permanently do this. So you're permanently immune, and you pretty much permanently damage reduction, or to a great degree anyway. So that's the thinking between that little branch and twig there. Then we come into the Archfiends, and I've chosen Infernal Breath. Summon a demonic head for 7 seconds that breathes fire on enemies, dealing 20% damage per hit. Then for the upper twig, casting an Infernal Breath infuses your lesser demons to grant volatility. So we got volatility there, and we got volatility here. And then on the bottom twig, that number just seems to be incredibly big. Infernal Breath deals 2000% multiplicative increased damage the first time it hits an enemy, but no longer pierces. This just seems incredible. I need to edit this. This is in the edit mode here. I literally am going through this. Yeah, so I am going to take this heavy impact damage, because 2000% increased damage would suggest that you should be able to one-shot almost everything. And as you're leveling up, that's going to be a massive boost. Now, obviously this is not going to be huge to begin with, but it's like something that you got to try. And then I've went with Explosive Death. At the end of Infernal Breath, the demon explodes, dealing 200% damage. The explosion is increased 10 times multiplicative for each time the demon's breath hits enemies. So that's your Infernal Breath, your volatility, and then heavy impact. And this takes dominance. And the dominance that would take, and again, this is where Mobalytics isn't particularly good yet. It costs 10, and at the beginning, you're taken up to your beginning stats is 30 dominance. Then I'm coming down into the Sigil of Chaos. And then for the upper twig, I went volatility. Volatility from Sigil of Chaos now lasts for 10 seconds after you leave the area. So you've got more volatility and it longer. For the bottom one, Chain Reaction. Hitting an enemy with Sigil of Chaos is a 20% chance to trigger the effect in them again. And then for the modifier, I've went with while you were the Diabolic Rebuke. While you're within Sigil of Chaos, you and your summons demon 204 damage to enemies when attacked. Sounds a bit like Thorns, but it's different. And then for the last, I've got Metamorphosis. And this one in particular, damage scaling. Metamorphosis grants you 2% multiplicative increased damage for each bonus max life you have. And I don't necessarily, I'm waiting to see which one I actually am going to choose here. I don't like the idea of going down to half your max life, but at the same time, I'm not sure I want to be staggered 10 times. But will go with the Sin Demon. Casting Archfiend skills during Metamorphosis grants Sin up to 20 stacks. When you leave, each Sin can be consumed by casting non-Archfield skills to generate 3 Dominance and Wrath. And that would be the Hell Fracture. So, and the Hell Fracture creates damage, explosions, and I think that this little synergy here, because you will allow you to also do dominance, which allows you to cast the Infernal Breath. So you'll need to do the Metamorphosis. And then run into Infernal Breath, and then into Metamorphosis. That's my thinking. So I've only put 27 points in here right now, up 28. So how would I run this? I'll put more points into Metamorphosis, probably take that up to 8. Take these up to 8, the Nether Step. Then max out these ones. I'm not sure I want to go any more on the Nether Step here, but we will need more. And again, a lot of this little grouping here, there will be gear aspects that will help your wrath generation and your dominance generation, so we could take points away from here and then stack them into other things. And I think that's the way I'd run it. Because I do think that certainly in the first instances, this is going to be very important. Now, so for the primary, we will have Command Fallen. Then we'll run with Hell Fracture. Then as I'm coming through, I'd probably run Nether Step on 1, on 2. I'd run in the Sigil of Chaos, Infernal Breath, and then Metamorphosis. So when I'll be going with the Vanguard shards, but which one, Soul Shard, shall I run? Abaddon gains 35% increased cast speed and movement speed, cleaves and attacks, erupts Brimstone during command, launching period, and just each Brimstone deals 53% damage. While in demon form, lose 1 dominance per second. To extend their duration, demon form also increases the damage of Hellfire Demonology skills. While in volatile in demon form, Hellfire skill damage you to enemy fire for 2 seconds, dealing. I think actually the Warden Fragment Warding Fragment seems to be the one that I will go for, because of the increased non-archfields. We gain 3 dominance and wrath. This can exceed up to 50%, so we're gaining dominance and wrath there. So that should work well, quite well. While in demon form, you lose 1 dominance per second. So you lose 1 dominance per second, and you gain 1 dominance per second. Then you gain all these other dominances through the Metamorphosis. So we should actually come up with a plus in the end. So that's the thinking. So these are just placeholders, really, because as you're leveling, you're wanting to just put in anything that will be better than you've got already. So I'll Disobedience on the helm. I'll put Might on the chest. And then we need something like Edge Master. No. We're not using... Well, we do have Shadow Form through the Nether Step. But I think that while in demon form you deal increased damage. Should be a goodie. But should it be on the amulet instead of the gloves? And for pants, we could... That's a strange one on the pants. I think we could go with Impetuous, because you should be actually close to your demons pretty much all the time. And it depends how close is close. And of course we do actually like to be fast. Crit strikes grant movement speed. Then there are Brimstone explodes into lava pools, dealing damage over time. Could go with Edge Master to start with. Little flare. Remorseless sounds good. For our amulet, accelerating, crit strikes with core, does your attack speed. And I think I'd go with Apologetic Furor, because if this is right, then casting an ultimate skill, ultimate damage by 100%, and we're already gaining a 2000% damage on it. Yeah, it's just like some of the numbers become a little bit I quite like this. Every 5 seconds, your next core skill costs X life instead of primary resource. Will only occur if at least 60% of your max life, and you can deal up to 80% bonus damage, multiplicative. Mm. I actually think that gaining 10 max dominance is going to be good, because we will need dominance. Oh no, we got it in the amulet. I think that should be good. The brimstone, we have to make sure. That's the one. Let's save that draft, because we've got brimstone as Abodian. Erupts brimstone during command Abodian, launching them periodically while moving and dismounting. Each brimstone deals damage, and then brimstone explodes into lava pools, dealing the damage over 5. Standing in lava pools gives you volatility. So these are just first thoughts until we actually start to get into the game itself. Maybe not finger friendly. Super strong. So we don't have anything on the talismans yet. Not from Mobalytics. We don't have any paragons because we're leveling. Now for a mercenary, I'm going to go with Subo. So we're going to go with Molotov, dealing damage and stunning them. Take Burning. Then they take an increased damage over time. Unleashes a bolt for 450 physical. And then snipes at the target aimed at... But really? No, not right here. Variana. Bloodthirst. Any skill in combat. So that's going to be my... So super for the map is as much as anything else. And Variana gives us some speed. Attack speed. And that is where we're going to start. I say the one thing that I will say is that this season changes everything. Money. Take the money mod. And then we'll go with, you say eventually it would be back. But I do like my, and then we'll go with Seer, I think. For now, the weapons, they've got the critic strike damage. This is changed. Then we go with Sapphire because it's a willpower build. And we'll go for generics at the minute. The diamond does sort of everything, but you probably would want to change this depending on how you feel your build is running. Dons, good morning. So I think that's a decent start for Metamorphosis. As we go through the leveling process, I'll probably change this. Now, I'm not sure whether I want to go with Metamorphosis. It is a build. I think that this has got a possibility of scaling extremely well into the mid and end game. The other build I have up and running, which is the Dreadclaws. And I think that, and again, Dreadclaws is another build that could go very, very nicely into mid game and end game. So if I just go through the skill tree on here, again, this is just my general little branch for making Wrath and Dominance. Then for Dreadclaws, we got Upper Twig as damage. Every second gain increased damage for your next Dreadclaw up to 100%. Then Dreadclaws deal 50% increased damage with its first claw, strike against each enemy. And then Dreadclaws sends out 4 additional claws and deals 30% increased damage than the last. So it's 30, then 30, then 30. That's 120. That's massive. Then we come down into Nether Step. This is going to be the initial Nether Steps for mobility. But I think that eventually, for mobility in sort of the mid game, the end game, I could be going with demonic strat. It's now a direct leap attack, and so you leap all over the place. So I'm thinking that this would be a good mobility skill. Maybe not necessarily in the leveling, but certainly for the mid game. That I think that I'll change this to demonic smash and go leaping around the place, which will give me some tremendous mobility skill. Then maybe change the nether step. I don't like the Wall of Agony. I don't think many people's going to run that. I could be wrong. But then you've got this sort of tortured wrath that you taunt them. I think that could be a possibility. Or the Dark Prison. But at the beginning, for leveling, this is what it's going to be. I'm going to be running Nether Step. Step through the Shadows of Hell. Have some damage reduction. Increase that movement speed, so that increases. And then bring all my demons with me. Although I am considering Nether Step now lets you run through the abyss while immune for 3 seconds. Cast again to exit early. So you cast and then you're immune for 3 seconds. So you can run anywhere. So I think it depends on how the game plays, whether I may change from Recall Shadows to Gloomwalker. And then mid-game, maybe trying to see how the Demonic Smash runs against the Titan Rampage. So I've got the Sigil of Summons up in here. Create a binding ritual of 10 seconds that extends the duration of the summons. Killing 8 enemies or demons within the field lasts another 20 seconds, dealing 60 damage per hit. You can have 3 demons active at once, which sounds interesting. Sigil of Summons deals increased damage but requires 25% more kills per summon. And then I've went with Succubus. Sigil of Summons now requires 12 skills to do 2 Dark Succubi, which fire Abyssal Blood Stars, dealing damage and dealing 180% damage when they try to attack. It's now an Abyss skill. So it's a bit like Thorns, but not Thorns really, which makes it interesting. And then I went for Terror Swarm. Summon a terror from the depths that deal 500% damage and spews a voracious swarm that deals 100% damage per bite. Think mosquito for 15 seconds. And then the left twig I went Terror Swarm periodically that pulls the enemies into the center, which I think is a good thing. And then they make them vulnerable. You have not a lot of chance to make things vulnerable. And then I went Terror Swarm starts smaller and weaker, but grows up to 3 times as it feeds. Upon reaching its max size, splits off another smaller swarm. We can have 3 active swarms. So I think that's pretty damn good. So that's what I'm going with. Now I have to decide whether I'm going to run with the Metamorphosis or the Dread Claws. I'll be able to get on pretty early as well, because the start time for Diablo 4 is 7 o'clock in the morning for me. 8 o'clock in Korea, I think. Middle of the night in Europe. And sort of middle of the afternoon in the US, depending on where you are. So for the start time, it's just almost perfect for me. Right, so I think I'm going to leave that the way it is right now. I've published both of these build guides, Metamorphosis and Abyssal Dread Claws. What I'm going to do now, I think, is do a little leveling assists for people. If I can remember how to run right, what build am I running? Dawnfire. Okay, so I'm running the bulldozer build. Cool. Right, so what I will do is Diablo 4. Then instead of that one, we want that one. Right, so now then, what we'll do here, no, we won't, we'll list a party. We're going to run some Infernal Hordes for leveling. See if anybody wants the last little bit of leveling help. And we will take a little bit of this. Oh, one thing. I'm not sure about this, but these are no longer in the game. There's no more incense in the game. I'm not 100% sure about elixirs, but the chances are I don't think they are either. So none of these will be taking up any inventory space. You might have elixirs, but there's no incense. That's already been confirmed. And these keys, all these keys, gone. There's only going to be 2 sets of keys. So your inventory space is going to be a lot easier to control. But there's been so much information dumped. It's like, wow. I am so stoked to get up and running for the next season. There we go. 259. Just wait another minute or so until we can see if there's any more gonna join. Okay, I guess he just wanted to start, which is fine. Looks like a druid. No soul spires. Where is Butch? You didn't? Is this just a regular? Oh heavens, man. Ooh, I should have just... Oh wow. That's okay, it's whatever they want to do, I'm fine. I can kill easy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You choose. Because there's usually a butcher appeared by now. And for a 10 wave butcher, a 10 wave including the butcher, the relentless butcher, you get about 220 to 200 to 220 million XP per 10 run. So this is why I was suggesting I'd kill the Butcher. We got this time. Lots? Sounds like, looks like. Lots is good. Easy peasy. I just want to play the expansion. The more research I've done on this, the more I think that some of the builds are going to be so OP. I haven't even touched the paragons yet. Excuse me. Because some of the paragons also seem like, wow. Yeah, you can choose whatever. And the more I get into the actual game, the better I'll understand it and the synergies that can happen within the game. Right now everybody's just theory crafting because we don't really have the right information. There's a lot of information, don't get me wrong, but it's all piecemeal. It's a bit here, a bit there, a bit everywhere else. And certainly on Mobilytics, where I've got the builds, we do seem to be missing a little bit of information. It's like on the talisman, and that's going to add a massive amount of complexity to everything. And then you've got the heraldic cube. Yeah, you go ahead and choose. Burning Rain, fine, not a problem. Linus should be if he's still going to be with us when I open the next Infernal Hordes, he should see a massive boost in his levels. $220 mil takes, you know, one wave will get him up levels. Come on guys, choose. Oh, you joking, draining spires. Okay. And it's maybe not the best choice. I hate spires. There's never enough monster around them to kill quickly enough. especially if those near the cell spires. It would be good if there was. See, doing these are okay, but you really need to run them on the boot with the butcher. The blood-soaked ones. Not the blood-stained, the blood-soaked. So we're only a couple of days away from the end now. So all I'm doing is having fun helping people. Get some ruthless lords up here. Each one of them gives us 8, I think now. Like you said, we've got plenty. Now I think next season the Paladin, this Paladin build is still going to be pretty good. Although we have to change the sword, because the sword has got passive ranks in it and there are no passive ranks in the next skill tree. So it will be a little bit of a toss up in what to use. The Oradin in general I think will be pretty good still. But the skill trees have changed so much. It really is going to be fun trying to get the skill trees up and running properly. Yeah, we've almost got 10,000. We'll probably have 10,000. 2,000, I should say 10,000. 2,000 by the end of the run. Because we get 66 from killing Bartek. Assuming we choose Bartek. Yeah, there we go. Easy peasy. Right, I'm going to take a break. Don't think I really need anything. Is it? Yeah. Nada. Okay, that was short-lived. No problem. See if there's anybody else, and this time I will open the Hordes. $105. Okay, let's see how far he can go. He's got a level already. Okay, guys. You kill everything else, I'll kill Bartek. $108. $109. $105 he started. We got one more. There he is. I love it when it goes up that quick. I'm pretty sure next season that this will be Tournament 12 Warlock. As easy as this. Because it's Tournament 12 is Pit 100. And Pit 100 is relatively simple for many builds. Anything but soul spires. That's my rule. Anything but soul spires. There it is. Good. care what it is, just not soul spires. See, this is where the last guys just made a little mistake. This is where see ether fiends, okay. See, okay. $119. 14 levels already. $15. Oh, I should have took the fiends. I think I've managed to get 4 of them every level so far. Twenty levels. Not too shabby. Yeah, T12 does give all that boost, but whether it's more efficient to run at T12 or T10, it is a different thing. I think it'll depend on efficiency, whether you really want to run on T12 or not, because it's only it's not a massive amount of difference between T10 and T12, Alex. I think it's only like it goes up by like 100 or something each level, if I remember right. But I do think that that we are going to be able to reach T300, Paragon 300 next season. I was a little bit concerned to begin with, but I think we should be good. It's- my Chinese friend here, he started off at 105, he's now 130. 25 Paragon levels. And you can juice a lot of the XP as well, depending on what war plan you're going to be running. Come here, Butch. I'm just such in a mood to play the expansion already. I got one more butcher. I need to. There he is. And I'm a little bit disappointed actually. I was hoping that T12 would be a little bit more, I don't know, challenging. A little bit more aspirational. I can't get that word out. But it looks as though that a lot of builds are actually going to be able to run T12 with relative ease. I'm pretty sure that the majority of the Warlock builds are going to be running T12. The Dread Claws, the Abyssal Claws, and I think the Metamorphosis are the two builds that I've got up and running at the minute. Build guides anyway. I'm pretty sure both of these will be able to clear. Come on, get across the other side. We'll be able to clear Torment 12 with relative ease. The Dread Claws in particular is looking absolutely fantastic. I don't. We've got 900. We need to get 10, at least 1,000 to be able to open. Not that I'm interested because I've got most things anyway. But we need sort of 1,000 because Bartek will give us 66. So we do need to get that a little bit more. Come on. We should be able to get there, I think. Yeah, okay, we got that. Other guys have got it. We take Bartek. $137, so he's gained 32 levels so far. 32 levels, that's not too bad for one run. So, layer boss key. He needs a little bit of time to put all those points away. I think. Somebody's still Let's try that again, shall we? So we'll take these first. And then what we want, oh freaking hell. I don't believe 3 soul spires on 3 different spawn points. Another soul spire. F and F. Wow, so many soul spires. We didn't choose them. Go away. Alright, so Athens. No soul spire on dead. We'll take, so that's 1 on each. And then we need to heck with the soul spire. Then we need these spires. So the masses give, gosh, look at that. So the masses want to give either Hellborn or Elites on Death. Yes, whatever it is. So all I need to hunt for is the... What? Somebody... What the heck is... Absolutely nuts. I should be careful in what I actually click. Oh well. Somebody screwed up there. Can't believe they took us out the Infernal Hordes. But I should have... I thought I was accepting him to join the party, not accepting and then teleporting wherever he went. That was stupid of me. I have to be more
I forge more than
careful.
horseshoes and nails. What's still got some good in it?
Hmm. Oh well. I had a message coming. Nobody wants to run. Let's just run a low level pit. What's for the season? Pit. Just run a whatever. Drop this punch down here. And around. And this is the thing I like about Subo. You can see where the monster densities are. So it does help you run around a little bit. You know, I don't think I run any towers this season. Just not something that interested me particularly. Although next season might be a little bit better because you get some rewards for actually doing it, which was one of the reasons that I couldn't be bothered. It didn't really give me anything. And you come down here as well. That's the way. More the merrier. Now, next season, the pit's gonna have 5 floors. And you're going to be able to juice them up quite nicely. Take this one. There's so much. It is like going to be playing a new game next season. With all the changes that's happened. It's going to happen. It hasn't happened yet, because we don't actually, we're not in the season yet. We've got a whole big 3 days to go. 2 days to go. Well, if nobody wants any help, what I'm gonna do is go back into some theory crafting. What I need to be doing, I suppose, over the next couple of days is getting rid of that little lot, because I don't want to be taking all these through into the eternal realm, so they're bye-bye. They're also they're getting rid of some of these runes as well. All of this is gone. All of them are gone. A lot of these are gone. Bye-bye. And that little lot are gone. I'm very doubtful that I'm going to be using any of these in the next day or so. Ceremony of... Oh, I wonder how many... I haven't checked just recently. There we go. 53. Don't really want to open them though. Maybe I'll just let them die. I will run this one, and then I think it's almost time for me to go. Right, where's Butch? Yes. Now I have to be more careful this time, not to get teleported to a different area. All I need to do is kill Butch. Oh, there's the last of the Butches. Where is it? There it is. Whatever this is, we'll take. Looks like lords, which is good. I like lords. They tend to give some good good ether. Now they're gonna come up, or they're gonna be overlay instead of always looking at the mini map, which is going to be taking a bit of getting used to. I'm so used to watching the mini map about for where I need to be. It's going to take some getting used to. Should have took the legions first. Never mind. We're doing okay. So far, so good. Oh, where is? Who's that side? Okay. Not gonna get that finished in time. The born is done on Mass's death. We got one more to go. There he is. Perfect. Cut the ass way out. Soul Spires, or effing Soul Spires. Horrible. I had absolutely no choice whatsoever. Just like Soul Spires. Just one Soul Spire after another. God. We've got one more to go. Too many Soul Spires. There he is. Oh, look at that! Soul Spire, effing Soul Spire. Terrible. Just as well we're not after ether. I've never had that before. That's twice that we had absolutely no choice except for Soul Spires. Terrible. I'll still kill the butchers though. We got one more butcher to come. Eat the fiend on death. Yay! Let me take care of the butchers. Don't need them any faster. We're not going to get 1066, I don't think. Or at least 1,000. We're a bit low. This is Soul Spires for you. One side, from one side to the next. One left? Where is he? Left or right? Yes. $4.56. I think this is going to be me. I need to go make some dinner. Just here we go. That took a bit of time to go down. That's better. Hope we have a little better luck this time. No soul spires. There he is. That's good. Perfect. We can do it. I think somebody's got Godslayer. Gotcha. There's the last. Last is done. We have enough time to get hit. Then back to the middle. And we start again. Because we want more masses, and then we want masses to have Ether Fiends on death or Hellborn. Both are acceptable. Good. 2 bugs with 1 stone. Come on, where's all the monsters? That's why I don't like Soul Spires. You can be sitting there for half an hour and there's nothing comes near you. Bit of chaos. What we got? We found the lunatics, get mass from lunatics. This is okay. The only one I don't really like is the Catch the Whispers. Or to go there he is. Perfect. Keep with the Ether Fiends theme. Where's the last one? There he is. Done. To go. There he is, perfect. Don't have to run all over the place for him. Now we need masses to give us ether feeds on death. Ether fiend on death. There we go. So we should get ether fiends galore. $1,200 ether, not bad. We have two masses at the beginning, and then the reform. Which should give us all ether fiends. It would be nice if we got ether fiends turned into lords. That can give you some good ether. But sometimes the ether lords do tend to be a little bit high output in the damage, so for some lower level characters it might be a wee bit tough. Just a wee bit. Ether fiends spawn as ether lords. Cool. Wish it and you shall get. This is fun. So little old Butch is pretending to be an ether lord. Not too shabby. Just a little bit below 2,000. Ah. It's me. Let's get rid of this little lot. So for me, it is time to go. I will leave you here and perhaps see you tomorrow. I will be working on my builds, ready for Lord of Hatred expansion, which will be Tuesday, my time, 28th, 7 o'clock in the morning. Be there or be square.